Next item is Mr. Thomas Davis regarding taxi cab service. Is Mr. Davis with us? All right. Move on to the next item, update on the frontage roads on the 72, Highway 72. Where we left this last week was I had asked for the committee to take a look at this, and the committee would like to recommend that we move forward with soliciting proposals on this project. That would give us a better idea of what the cost of this project is, and then we could move forward from that point based on the cost. The big thing about splitting this project up is we thought that it might cost more over time as opposed to doing it all at once if we decided to split the project up. So that's the committee's proposal, is that we move forward with this. So at this time we'll open this up for discussion.
I have a little discussion. We have recently formed a business development board to handle things of this nature. Why are we not involving this business development board in that they're going to be involved with each business who wants to locate here, incentives to help them locate here, and this would be an incentive to help with this access road, but yet we haven't even mentioned that.
It'd probably be good to involve them. Of course, this project is going to cost money, and that Commercial Development Authority does not have any money to move forward with this project at this time.
But at some point, we're going to have to devise a plan for them to have money, or there's no use having them if they don't have means to getting money to help give those incentives. So I guess my proposal would be, why not alleviate that by having them do it now rather than sometime later, and let them do what we formed this board to do.
I think it's a decent proposal. I think we should again move forward with this now and possibly bring them on board. There's going to be more frontage roads that needs to be planned in the future, and perhaps keeping them involved at this point may be a wise thing to do, but preparing them for that next step may be the better thing, so that we can go ahead and proceed with this. Based on the estimates we've had so far, it looks like if we proceed with this sooner as opposed to later, we can save money. And if we wait to figure out how these funds are going to transfer through the CDA, that can slow down the project and end up costing us more in the long run.
Of course, when they passed this and required the access road out there, if they'd done it then, we'd save a lot more money than we'll be saving now. And they didn't seem to mind not doing it then, but now the people who want it done now are the same people who didn't do it then.
Not doing what?
Went ahead and getting this done, preparing for get the state to approve it and all this. Ms. Bowden was on the council, and they didn't do one thing in regard to doing what they're asking us to do.
That is, I won't argue. It needs to be done now. That's my feeling. I don't know how the rest of the council feels, whether we should proceed with this or hold off on this.
I would like to say, Mr. President, I definitely agree with the fact that we do need to proceed. What was done in the past, I personally, I can't worry about that. I've got to look at where the here and now is and how we're going to benefit, whether it be right or wrong. What they did in the past, I'm not going to say, but for us, and if we're looking for the city to get better benefit, I think for us in trying to develop the CDA board that we've had, that this will in turn help them as far as getting more business in here quicker and easier. And I think that's what our goal is to make it easier for a business to come in and everything already be preset for them to come in and giving them a little less hassle. That's what I see out of it by us doing it, trying to get it set up in advance and having a plan.
Mr. President, I concur with Mr. Bale. I think there's an animal called momentum, and I think right now we have that momentum going in terms of new development, new interests, along with some other projects that are developing in the city. I think at some point in time, we as a city and as an entity need to recoup our financial investment here. So, and I think I mentioned that briefly to Mr. Smith, that maybe somewhere down the line when these new businesses come inquiring or come investing or come developing their properties, maybe the cost of that road that we put out there could be phased back into some of that prospective recoup. And I think that might be something that the CDB might be able to help us with a little later on. But I think we need to move forward in this effort, just because we got dirt moving.
Well, thank you.
I do have something. Mr. King, could you come forward, please? The engineering work on this road, will this engineering work, once it's completed, the plan is drawn out, it'll last until the roads are actually built, correct?
Yes.
So it actually needs to be done, whether it's done in phases or whether it's done all at one time, it's going to have to be done.
Keep in mind, what we're talking about here is just the design, it's not the construction of the road. Once we get the design in place, then as it's developed, it can be constructed, whether in pieces or the whole thing, however it's completed. But once we have that design in place, then we'll have that for everybody to work from.
So no engineering design has been done on the portions where there's no...
On these areas, that's right.
On these areas.
Right.
So if you as city engineer, would you recommend it all being done as one project or as different projects?
Obviously, this service road is designed to work as one entity. Right now, it's pieced together. We've got sections out there, and it doesn't function like it should. Once it's all completed, yes, it would function, and it'd be a great benefit for us. But without having that design for everybody to see the big picture and know how it all ties together, it makes it tough to see that.
So you would recommend it be done all at once?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd also add one more to confirm, the design work for the access road, Micaway and other access roads has been done by the city for the most part, is that correct?
That's my
The
understanding.
construction, however, is taken on as a part of the, whoever develops that property.
That's correct.
May I ask you a question? From Hardee's to Calvary Church, the access road,
Okay.
did the city pay for that?
I
They didn't. They didn't
Pay for construction or design?
pay for any of it. What we're trying to do here,
Right.
an individual landowner pays his own money. And it doesn't seem fair to me, that was a long stretch, probably like a quarter mile, but they had to pay for it, yet we're paying for someone else.
You just said the CDA should take it on, so.
Well, we gotta do something, and I agree with that. But what I was saying, we have a board, but yet we're not letting the board do their job. And I just like to see them involved.
I think, would it be possible to keep them in the loop and understanding this process so that they can be involved in the future?
I would think so.
It's again, something we're gonna have to look at with the board and what they're able to do, and I think it's gonna be a thing that's going to take time to get the board involved in these type of activities. They were created and they're in place, but I think, ideally they could start working overnight, but they have to build up those resources and those processes before they can do that.
I guess, last question would be, at what point are we gonna start having the board do that?
I believe,
Probably when they ask, I would think, when they feel that they're ready. I mean, just my own interpretation of what they're doing. Meetings that I've been doing, they're just trying to get their ground rules together and knowing their do's and the don'ts. And then once they get established for that, then they'll start asking the city to help them feel like. But right now, I just don't feel they're ready. The meetings I've attended.
You don't feel like they're ready?
Not for us to just give them the money. No, sir.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. Okay, I'm good.
any other questions, comments?
Sir, maybe a little misconception on the CDA board. Honestly, I don't believe the city funds them, but we would stand behind their debt.
Right.
Any other questions? Again, I'd like to move forward with this, ask that we move forward with this and proceed with accepting proposals. If there's opposition to that, then I'll ask that we put this on the agenda for next Monday night. Do we have any opposition to proceeding with the proposals, or seeking those proposals? All right, if none, I'd like to ask Mr. King and Mr. Ray if you would proceed with researching and obtaining those proposals for that. All right. Thank you.
Well, excuse me, Matt, one more question. Exactly what area are we talking about getting the proposal for? I mean, do we going over Dry Creek or?
The proposal will include the areas discussed before from where the Sherwin-Williams, just past that I believe is being developed now, just past that up to 35, and then on the other side from the Western System essentially.
Up to Williams Island money, I believe.
Basically, what we had in that proposal was to